Hello everyone, this is Jaeger, and as I've said before, if you are looking for good content, well, you're still in the wrong place. What I'm doing today is showing you the difference in DLSS, FSR in a couple of games, if it's something that you're interested in. If not, well, then don't watch it. But we're starting with Diablo because I feel like it's got one of the more noticeable changes in it. It's definitely as FFR comes by, FSR, excuse me. As you can see here, running a 3080 on a 11600 overclocked to 5.1. Don't ask me how. Everything's nice, crisp, no issues, no blurriness, max settings. I think I got ray tracing enabled on low. Getting a few frames down there. I'll have a bar graph at the end of all these videos to show you. But yeah, nothing to really talk about. If you know Diablo, this is it. This is a Twisting Blades Rogue. If you're interested, I know you're not, but I figured I'd tell you anyway. We'll say that quality from all the games I've tested does not really give off any kind of differences, unless you were looking just still picture after still picture and just trying to find something. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to run quality if you needed the extra frames to reach a refresh rate, if that's what you were wanting to do. Again, not a whole lot of things going on. If for a keen eye, there might be just a tad bit of blurriness while you're moving, but in a game like this, it's not something you're necessarily going to notice. I would skip ahead, but this is actually going pretty quickly. Balanced, again, if you still don't receive your refresh rate that you're wanting, or if you just a frame fiend and you got to have the most frames, I'm running at 212 right now. Again, I don't see the reason why you wouldn't want to try to use this. Might be a little bit more blurriness with the foliage. But like I said, a high-paced game like this, you just don't necessarily notice anything. And if I'm not mistaken, this is DLS. I don't know which version of DLSS this is. It could be 3.0. It could be DLSS 4. But with that being said, couldn't really tell the difference. This guy got in my way. But as you can tell, you might start seeing some kind of blurriness over here and over here. The shade is starting to dumb down a little bit. But other than that, even performance mode, there's just not a lot there if that's what you want to use, and use it. As you can tell, it is getting a little bit on the blurrier side. Things are harder to kind of see the contrasts, perfect lines. Ultra performance, I can go ahead and tell you in all games this should not even be a thing. Why it's in here, I don't know. They should have just stopped it at performance. You can definitely see my character starting to blur out a little bit. I will say I'm running 237 frames, 40, 43. But as you can tell, these lines just aren't crisp anymore. There's just a lot of blurriness into this. And we will get into that. As you can see, like the horse's little towel, whatever the hell this thing's called, I don't fucking know. It's just, even the feet. The feet are just, you can see pixelation in the feet, and I don't feel like ultra performance is worth it. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to skip, because I've got a ton of just pictures that we don't really need to see. This is FSR. This is FSR2. I don't know why games aren't implementing to the latest FSRs. a lot of games I notice will just be FSR 2. I know there's a 3.1 now, probably a little bit better equipped for this stuff, but man, what can you do? You get what you get. Get what you get and don't bitch about it. I can cuss now because it's later in the video. So we switched to FSR2. Again, quality-wise, not really seeing anything. I can tell you that FSR is definitely not as good as DLSS as far as frame rate. Like you can already tell that the feet are kind of already getting a little bit blurry. But if you need the few frames, I'm a 60 frame guy myself, maybe 70 or 80 at most, so I wouldn't use this. But if you want those extra frames, you need that frame rate, this is for you, I think. I think quality is where you need to be. Um, I can't remember if it's balanced or if it's performance. FSR takes a real dip. Yeah, I mean the feet. The feet's what first caught my attention, and then you can see the snow leopard back here actually starts to lose some of its color and some of its spottiness. Don't ask me why I've got a frog. I thought he was kind of cool, and he licks things, so why not? Yeah, yeah. As I'm watching this back, you can definitely tell that my character is blurry. Um, Again, this game you might not even notice it, but as a Diablo player myself for a very very long time, I want my Diablo looking crisp. When we get to ultra performance, that's maybe even performance. I'm trying to remember. Um, yeah, it's just to me this is awful. This is just kind of like taking the sharpness on your monitor and just turning it all the way off. Um, you can just tell my character's starting to look like a retro game, like I'm playing Final Fantasy or something like this. Um, and the horse looks like a Lego. I'm just saying it could have been so much better. I'm only running, yeah, even the frame rate. Oh, I will say this is a 6700 or 6750 XT max overclock on a 11700K at 52 all core on a Trident Z3733. Get in all that crap. There you go. You can just look at it. Would you just look at it? My kid can draw better than this. This is awful, and it looks pixelated. Maybe it looks like 800p. I ain't even gonna give it that. This is 480. Um, yeah, this is just absolutely horrendous. I don't recommend this at all. For the frame rate that you get, it's not worth it. If you can, just skip performance and ultra performance on FSR. I don't think it's worth it. Here I did some still pictures. This one's really hard to tell, but FSR just kind of threw me for a loop so much that uh, so on quality, everything's nice, kind of clear, no issues. Again, it was hard to do because this is like a constant moving scene. Um, I'm getting attacked, but I can't be killed. Just can't be touched. Balanced on a still image here, you can't really tell anything. Things are starting to get a tad bit blurry on the characters. The straight lines are not crisp at all. They're kind of starting to look a little pixelated right here in this region. The rocks are losing some of their detail as you go higher up. And then the last one here, ultra performance, and you can see my frames down here at the bottom. It's not worth it. Like this is like a blur now. You everything every time you move, it's just a blur. All right, with here we have the frame rates of FSR and DLSS. The first thing that you are going to notice that in DLSS DLSS, as I said, the ultra performance mode just really isn't worth it. These two do not reap the benefits. I mean, you're only getting a average of 5 frames between these two, so this shouldn't even be really into consideration. You've got a probably 25, 30 difference in between the others on DLSS. Very linear with all of these. I've noticed this in all games that it's been pretty linear. I think Black Ops is the one that really threw me for a loop, and we will get to that in a later video. Um, but if you need help and you know absolutely nothing and you've been living under a rock, green is DLSS and red is FSR. So here you have pretty much a very linear 20 frames per second. These two didn't really jump much, which is a thing that I have noticed. Um, but again, nothing here very exciting. If you need it, you need it. Uh, I personally think if you are over 60 frames, 70, maybe even 80. I know some people who want to do 90, and I ain't gonna shout out their names, but you know who you are. Um, then I could see how you could use at least the first three here, especially this one. You got to these two here, but as far as these go, we'll just act like these don't even exist. Um, so yeah, nothing exciting there. Just wanted to throw this one in there to give you some numbers rather than a visual. So yeah, um, as far as DLSS, I think you're good up to probably performance mode if it doesn't bother you as bad. If it does, then balance and quality is definitely for you. Um, and on FSR, I hate to say it, you've only got quality and balanced. Performance and ultra performance do not reap the benefits of the frames. I think it downgrades the picture way too much. So yeah, I've got a few more videos that I'm gonna put out. Black Ops 6 is gonna be another good one that I. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Whatever, I don't care what you do. If you don't like it, well, I don't know why you made it this far. But if you did, thanks, and I will see you in the next one.